Imagine this. Google might be about to release a new phone next year with zero upgrades in all the places you'd expect. And strangely enough, that might actually be good news because it could be the one thing keeping the Pixel 10a from getting a price hike. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. That's the big surprise here. While almost every major phone maker has been bumping up prices, the Pixel 10a is shaping up to be the rare device that holds the line at $499. And the only reason that seems possible is because Google might not be changing very much at all. So why does this matter? Well, the Pixel A lineup has become the go-to option for people who want Google's clean software, dependable cameras, and long-term updates without paying flagship prices. But the industry is shifting. Component costs are rising, competition is tightening, and flagship phones aren't getting cheaper. Every year, it feels like we're one generation away from Google finally saying, sorry, $499 is no longer possible. That's why the Pixel 10a's price is the biggest question mark of the upcoming release. Looking at history, though, the pattern has been almost eerily consistent. The Pixel 8a launched at $499. The Pixel 9a launched at $499. And if you go back through earlier A-series models, you see the same story. Google hasn't touched that starting price for years. So the baseline expectation is simple. If nothing major changes inside the phone, chances are the price won't change either. And based on what we know so far, nothing major is changing. One of the clearest signs is the processor. While the Pixel 10 lineup is running Google's newer Tensor G4 chip, leaks strongly suggest the Pixel 10a will stick with last year's Tensor G4. And that tells us two things. First, yes, the 10a won't get Google's latest AI features. That's a real trade-off. But second, and arguably more important for pricing, the G4 is cheaper to produce, cheaper to source, and already widely manufactured. That's exactly the kind of cost-saving move that lets Google keep a device at $499 without cutting corners elsewhere. And this isn't the one-off decision. It matches a broader trend in the Pixel ecosystem. The Pixel 10 flagship actually surprised everyone this year by keeping the same starting price as the Pixel 9, breaking a multi-year pattern of creeping increases. If Google managed to freeze its flagship price, even with the new chip and upgraded internals, it becomes much easier to believe the company wants to do the same with its budget model. But the real clincher might be the hardware Google isn't changing. Multiple reports say the Pixel 10a will look almost identical to the Pixel 9a. Same chassis, same overall design. No expensive redesign, no retooled frame, no new manufacturing processes. And in the smartphone world, design changes are one of the biggest invisible contributors to rising prices. If Google is reusing the 9a's design, they're not only saving on development, but also likely getting the existing parts at a lower cost due to volume and supply chain stability. Even the storage technology reinforces this. While the Pixel 10 has upgraded to the faster UFS 4.0 standard, the Pixel 10a is reportedly sticking with UFS 3.1. It's not something most people will notice during everyday use. Your apps will still open fast, your videos will still save quickly, but the older standard is cheaper. And once again, cheaper components point toward one goal: keep the phone at $499. Put all of this together, and the picture starts to look surprisingly clear. Older chip, older storage, reused design, no major hardware upgrades that would justify a bump to $549 or $599. In a year where phone prices could easily have gone up, the Pixel 10a might hold the line simply because Google appears to be playing it safe. Now, is that good or bad? Honestly, it depends on what you expect from a mid-tier phone. On one hand, sticking with older hardware means you won't get the same AI features Google is pushing so hard on the Pixel 10 series. You'll miss out on some of the more cutting-edge software tricks. And if you were hoping for a fresh new design or a big camera upgrade, this probably isn't the year. But on the other hand, Google seems to understand its A-series audience. People buying these phones usually want stability, good battery life, solid cameras, clean software, and the peace of mind that comes with knowing you didn't overspend. If keeping the price steady means giving up a few flashy upgrades, a lot of people will take that trade. The interesting twist is that while the Pixel 10's price staying the same felt like a surprise, the Pixel 10a staying the same will feel like a relief. Because if even the budget phone jumps up in price, the whole mid-range market shifts with it. So the Pixel 10a might not be the most exciting phone Google releases next year, but it might be the most important one. Because if Google pulls off another $499 launch, it will show that a stable, affordable mid-range phone is still possible in a market that seems determined to move the other way. And in 2025, that's a victory all by itself. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.